Sir Colco highlights! Anyways, the main reason I like Jigglypuff is from Smash Bros. But even so, Jigglypuff still holds a special place in my heart. Sorry, that was really cheesy. Although I do want to point out that the Miis don't have arms. I find that really disturbing. It's Kirby! The cute little pink puffball that everybody loves. And look at him! He can even get little hats that give him special powers! Which he can use to destroy anything that gets in his path! In this game, every single level feels unique, with special gimmicks in every one. Whether you're dodging skewers or being chased by a giant eel, you'll never feel like you're repeating designs. For example, if Mario fills his gauge whenever he's pitching, he can throw a really fast and dangerous fireball at the player. Which, now that you think of it, is very, very, very dangerous. Mario really should go to jail for that. Then maybe Waluigi can finally get his own game. Mario Kart. The sport where anybody, including babies, can race on volcanoes and throw bombs at each other. You know, logic! All of a sudden, a thundercloud strikes the castle for no reason at all, and Mario runs over to see what happened. For Pete's sake, Mario, don't you have any experience of being a hero? Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach all the time, and that's even when you're there with her. Don't you think he'll kidnap her the first time you run away from her? Nico BBQ was right. You are not a hero. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. Sure, it has other uses. You can attack enemies with it, but it's not really that useful. All it really makes you do is look like a very evil Mary Poppins. Wait, so off-screen something made a honking noise that made Mario tiny. What did he even use? A squeaky hammer? Oh no, my one weakness! A squeaky hammer! No! Have you ever been in 12th place and then thought, man, I wish I could be a living bullet with hands that can help me automatically boost around the track without me having to do anything? Well, why not? It's not like it's a very specific wish or anything. Another special thing about the game are the different courts you can play on. While the Mario Stadium is just your everyday average baseball field, the other courts have different things about them. For example, in Peach's Castle, if you run into freezing enemies that are around the court, your outfielder will be frozen and they can't move to get the ball. Which, when you think about it, can be very dangerous as well. Just imagine you're at your favorite team's baseball game, and the outfielder gets squished flat by a giant barrel! Mario Party 8 is the 8th game in the Mario Party series, which is basically a board game that Mario and Co. can play on. Which of course has very dangerous mini-games. Seriously, Mario, do you have to make everything dangerous? Then there are the worlds. 6 various worlds you can adventure through, each with their own unique levels. But what if I told you that you can unlock 2 bonus worlds? Mario, you're under arrest for making everything dangerous. What? Okay, I just have one request. Can we throw bombs at each other at the trial? You really don't get the point of this, do you? Over the course of his series, Kirby has wielded many great weapons. The sword, the spear, the hammer. But now, he must use the most almighty weapon of all, a broom. I know there are going to be some people who are probably angry that this isn't my favorite game on the Wii since it's really good. But just keep in mind that this is my list, and there are actually 4 other games that I like more. So, yeah. On to the next one. Oh, come in.
Hey, why is Super Mario Galaxy 2 not your favorite game?
What? Hey, I really hate the mini mushroom, though. You do this on purpose, don't you? When you get it, you basically befriend it, and it becomes your pet, which you can then use to bite your friends. Friendship.
Sapper Malio Gulixai.
Ta! There's also the blue Koopa shell, which allows Mario to don a blue shell and hide and dash through enemies. It's a very useful power-up, and easily my favorite out of the three. Although, it would be a lot more interesting if it was an actual blue shell power.
La 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 la. Huh?
You know, now that I think about it, that would probably make the game's rating go up. Which is already E10 due to the Goomba killing! But seriously, why would you not want to be a living bullet? Why not? I hate you, Thundercloud! You're not good at all! Stop smiling at me! One extra thing that adds on to the gameplay are star coins, which are collectible coins. Gee, I wonder where they come up with that name. There are many different tracks you can race on too, like a mushroom gorge, a farm with cows in it, a volcano, and of course the infamous Rainbow Road. Seriously though, who in the Mushroom Kingdom had the idea that they should turn a volcano into a racetrack? They should really be arrested. For example, the Mega Mushroom allows Mario to grow ginormous and squash any poor enemies standing in his way. Wait, I thought this game was rated E for everyone. That's false advertising! But seriously, why do you need a copy ability that can do what Kirby can already do? What happened at Nintendo? Was it just like, hey, for a new copy ability, let's give Kirby an ability where he can copy abilities? What a fabulous idea! Tacos for everyone! Even Bowser's battle is a cool remake of his battles in the original Super Mario Bros. Also, Final Fantasy characters are in it for some reason. I don't know, just go with it. I think the main reason I like Wigglytuff is that I used to have a Pokemon card of her. She had Round. I had like 5 other Pokemon of Round. And then I could defeat my brother's best Pokemon one hit and crush his dreams! Did I say that out loud? Please, Sakurai, please bring back the Ice Climbers for Super Smash Bros. For the NX. I'm begging you! After going through a long hallway, you see Bowser Jr. throw the remains of his father into some sort of potion to bring him back to life. Witchcraft! How easy it is to beat a boss with a mini mushroom, right? Ah! Also, whose idea was it to add the cars in?
I will annihilate them.
Once you defeat Bowser Jr., Bowser goes ballistic and starts shooting a ton of fireballs. Gee, I wonder why. It's not like you killed his son or anything. You've got the regular game for the players who just want to have fun playing it, and you've got the hard mode for the hardcore gamers. Actually, you can't really get hardcore with Kirby, but whatever. The thing about the bosses in this game is that every single one of them is unique. It never feels like the same boss with new gimmicks. Unlike the Kooplings! Muck is just not creative. Sometimes I just wish Grimmer had a different evolution. You know what? I bet even I can come up with a better evolution. Everyone, meet the new evolution to Grimmer. The Grimmer Reaper. Still better than Muck, though. But they can be really fun to find, except at times when you're yelling, "Where's that last star coin?" He sounds so derpy. Just listen to this voice clip from the anime. Actually, now that I think about that, sounds really, really creepy. This is the first game on the list that's not a sports game. So that's something. Before we get to number 1, I have an honorable mention, and that would be LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Although it's not really complete now that episode 7's out. And now it's time for the Ultimate Bosses. The Ferocious King of the Koopas. An Electrified Lakitu. And, this ugly fish thing. How evil! Low range and very low attack. That's why the broom is number 3 on this list. But you know what? We can handle this. Kirby and I are going to be the most hardcore sweepers in town. Yeah, you swing that broom, Kirby. Don't let anything get in your way. Become hardcore. Yes, do it, Kirby. You'll be a broom legend. Who am I kidding? It stinks. Hey yo people, thank you for watching the very first Sir Colco highlights. Be sure to tell me what you thought about it and if you want any more in the future. The links to all videos shown will be in the description. Yes, I know I left out for the most part, the worst Gen 1 Pokemon and my 2 recent reviews, but I figured 10 minutes of humorous moments would be enough, so I'm just going to save those for another, if you liked it enough. So yeah, the links to all those will be in the description. Be sure to check out my Google Plus for video updates. You can find that in the description. Check out my gaming channel. And if you're wondering why this video was made, I mean, not only wasn't an idea I had, but I'm also doing something. I'm making 3 videos for the end of the year, but I have to wait till mid-December to start putting them out. So I wanted to make sure I had a video between now and the time I announce it. So if you watched this far, which if you did, thank you so much. Now you know what to expect. So expect a video announcing it on, let me check my calendar, December 10th. Alright, that's it for now. Peace out.